Siempre te cuidaré, siempre te voy a querer.
What's up, gente? We have a brand new show for you today, and we're doing it a little different because I usually do the show once every 2 weeks. But today, we got a very special show. We got Latin Grammy winning artist, Mike Gonzalez in the house. So, guys, give him a round of applause, and y'all welcome Mike to the show. We got a big, long show for you coming in. Yes. So say
What's
hi,
happening,
Mike.
Sammy?
Not a lot, not a lot. Just always working, right? Siempre
Gotta
YouTube
keep
right now.
hustling.
Are you doing a show tonight? Is that correct?
I'm currently in Houston. We're doing so today's the first day of the Houston rodeo, and we're doing the barbecue cook off.
Wow.
So we are
Houston
here. We're
Rodeo.
getting ready. In about 2 hours, we take the stage.
Well, that's good. I caught you on a good day when you're like stage ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Now you're good. Congratulations on your show.
Well, thank you.
That's
I
awesome.
mean,
Hell yeah.
I've come a long way since we first met.
Yeah, for real. Now you got your
um,
own show.
I'm telling you, it was nerve-wracking.
It's a
I
hustle, is
was
what it is. You know.
I was like, "Fake it till you make it. You got this."
Yeah.
But it was fun. I really enjoyed meeting you guys, and it was a fun experience. Kind of gave me a little bit more of a little more stage experience because really before that show, it was my first I had my first ever show with a band.
Really?
Yes, you were like the second show I had ever done with the band.
Wow. Wow.
Talk about nervous, right? I
Hey,
didn't even
that's
know what to
awesome
wear.
though.
I made a whole video like where I was like doing the scene from the Grinch where he's like, "Ooh, that's it. I'm not going." But no, I'm happy to see that you put out another single. I actually have a funny story about your new single, which is, you guys came down to play at Pure Tejano here in Lubbock, and
Right.
there was a guy that was filming, right? Well, I never go out because I'm always working or maybe I'm gigging or I'm roading for another band. And because I want to get all the ins and outs of the industry, right?
Right.
And don't you know, I freaking the one time I go out ever is when they catch me on film. So they posted a video on YouTube, and there I am just dancing away, cumbiaing and everything. And I was like, híjole.
Of
I was like,
all
I came from
times,
like
right?
nothing. And I wasn't even dressed like I normally dress. Like I think I was wearing like a black t-shirt because I wasn't planning on going out. I was just like one of those nights where I was like, I'm gonna go out.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
for sure.
and then I'm in like jeans and tennis shoes and a black t-shirt, and I'm like, of course, that's when they
Of
catch me.
course I'd be on camera, right?
Right? And now it's on YouTube permanently. So
Yeah. There you
yay.
go. Yeah.
Shout out to TDK in the house. TDK, stop it. He talks a lot of mess.
Anita, wow.
Hater.
Nah,
um,
TDK is good people, man. Saludos, my brother.
I love TDK. We got Michael Medina Jr. in the house. He says his dad is a big fan of Mas. And he's also a big fan. We got Luis AG in the house.
That's
He
awesome.
says
Luis,
saludos.
saludos. Hasta Monterrey, Nuevo León.
I'm telling you, it's crazy to see how far Tejano's expanded, and I think that your dad had your dad just had a big part in that. Um,
Yes.
and I'm so excited to see that y'all got the tribute show coming up, Fanfare Weekend, right?
Fanfare weekend. Yes. You
See,
know, it
that's
was
what
a
I'm into.
that was a long time coming because I had always sat with my brothers and I would always tell them like let's travel this show, not just in Brownsville. You know what I mean? So they finally agreed to it, and because I've got five brothers, some of them were like, no, it has to stay in Brownsville because he's from Brownsville, and you know what I mean. And I was like, yeah, but there's a lot of people that would like to see this. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, Sammy, is that we put up a Jimmy G museum at the festival,
Wow.
meaning there's
Really?
artifacts there that from guitars to his Grammys to some of his wardrobe and stuff that people just don't see. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's one of the things that I told my brothers. Like a lot of people, I think would love to experience that. And you can take pictures with whatever artifacts they have there, and so it's a whole experience doing the whole Jimmy G Museum, right? And then at the
Wow.
same time, it was one of those things that my father always believed in. Whatever you're gonna do, you do it big. You know what I mean? Go big or go home. So
Right.
the lineup is big. You know what I mean? In my opinion, we've got David Lee, Los Musicales on there. We've got Jay Perez. You you got the Iconics. You've got the Delta Boys from the Valley. You've got David Farias y La Tropa F. You know what I mean? So a lot of the artists that are on there are headlining artists. Is what
Yeah,
we call them. You know what I mean? So you just
absolutely.
show up and you're gonna hear a lot of music all day. You know what I mean?
Wow, wow. And again, not fair because I'm performing the day that the tribute is, and and I'm like,
Right?
no, I would have loved to go and just, get the essence of a Grammy, just the essence of it, smell it.
Yeah. Hey, for real, taste it. I mean,
Let's see, we got DJ also from Hot Tejano and Country here in Lubbock, Texas. Let's see, Luis AG says El Palomazo.
ya sabes, Luis.
Shout out to Johnny Menes on the show right now, and of course, TDK says, "I just saw Rome go live, so y'all have a gig in Houston tonight. I wish I had a jet."
Yes, yes, TDK. We're
um,
doing the Houston Rodeo. So,
we got Chris and Yvonne. They have their own show on another station called Tejano 806. My whole season is actually dedicated to the founder of Tejano 806, because he was a really good friend of mine, and there wouldn't have been a Capturada show had he not been like, "Hey, Sammy, you should start a show." And so
wow.
he went to heaven recently, and he's dearly missed. So the whole season itself is dedicated to the memory of DJ Big D, Demas Garcia. We got Romeo Vaughn in the house. He says, I remember your dad calling me to my house phone, asking me to play the Weedle for him when
I
I
know.
was
It's
with
beautiful.
Sequel. I couldn't at the time, but with what a great memory to cherish forever, Jimmy G.
That's awesome. Oh yeah,
Wow,
Romeo.
that's
That's cool.
beautiful. Also, called me out on the fact that I close my eyes in a lot of pictures.
I have the
they're
same
not
problem, believe it or
they're not
not.
closed. I'm just kind of chinita, so when I smile,
Yeah. No, mine closed. I have a bad habit of doing that. Like, take it again. You know what I mean? Like, shit.
So I have a million questions to ask. For one, you've been a drummer for quite some time. Out of curiosity, was that the first instrument you started with?
It was. It was. Growing up, I would uh I would grab whatever I could, hang broken hangers, and I'd be banging on the sofa cushions, on pots and pans, and I remember my mother telling my dad, like, look, either you're gonna buy me new pots and new furniture because this kid's gonna ruin them, or you buy him a drum set and you know what I mean, let him bang on that. So next thing you know, we're on our way to the music store, and I got my first drum kit. Um, and from there, it just took off. You know what I mean? It was a passion that I had. You know, back then MTV used to have videos. You know, the music videos, and there was no reality shows. So
The good MTV.
I used to turn up the TV as loud as it could go, and I'd be playing along, and it was just fun. You know, so fast forward a little bit, I Grupo Mas used to rehearse in our garage. So all their gear would be in the garage. I mean, and they'd be in there rehearsing the latest album that was out. And so when they would leave, I would go in there and mess with the drums and mess with keyboards. And it was, again, I would watch them rehearse, and it, it, it lit a fire in me. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's what I want to do when I grow up. That's it right there. So, and the rest is history. You know, the I remember asking my dad, like, let me play a song, you know, and he'd be like, no, I can't, mijo, because your uncle's on the drums, you know. And a shout out to Mr. Adolfo Garcia, the original drummer for Grupo Mas, who was one of my mentors growing up, you know, because I learned from that man to musicians will understand this, but to stay in the pocket. You know what I mean? It's not about being flashy. It's not about how many. It's nothing about that. It's about staying in the pocket. So, you know, I
Yep.
tip my hat off to Mr. Adolfo Garcia, and amazing drummer, amazing person. You know, saludos. But from there, I got the phone call from my dad, which is what it was the phone call that I had always been waiting for, and that happened in '99. You know, he was like, "Okay, now let's make some music together," and that was the call that I had been waiting for all my life, and now the rest is history. You know.
Now, before you got to play with your dad, which I mean, wow, I mean, what an experience, right? What a cool like place to be. Did you get to play with any other bands? Did you have a first band before you transitioned over to, I mean, let's face it, one of the most historical bands in the industry?
Yeah. No. So, um, I was doing the marching stuff in high school, right?
Okay.
And one of those days there was this dude sitting on the curb, long hair. He had a big beard, and he was just watching us play and watching the drum line play, right? And he came up to me when we were done with rehearsals, and he was like, "Do you play in a band?" And I was like, "I don't." He was like, "Do you own a drum set?" And I was like, "I do." And he was like, "Do you want to be in a band?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Okay, here's the address, here's the phone number. Meet me here on a Tuesday, whatever." And I was like, "What kind of music is this, or what's happening?" So he ends up looking at me, and he's like, "It's punk rock music," and he took off. And I had never heard of punk rock music. You know what I mean? I would just listen to whatever was on the radio, and I remember going home, and I've got two older brothers. I was like, "Hey, punk rock music. Like, what do we got or what?" They gave me a
Nice.
couple of yeah, gave me a couple of cassettes. Here, listen to this. This is what you're getting into. And Sammy, that music is play as fast as you can, and that's what I was doing. I did it for about 6 years. I did it for about
Wow.
6 years, hauling ass playing the drums.
What was do you I mean, what was the name of the first band you got to play with?
The name of the band was The Rejected.
The Rejected. Okay.
The Rejected. So, and believe it or not, we would play every weekend, whether it was rock bars or backyard parties or, and at that time, plus I wouldn't drink. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I was too young. I was just, so they would charge the bars, and they give me the money because aside from the money we were getting, they had an open bar. You know what I mean? So they would all get drunk, and they're like, "Here, Mike, that's your money. You can have that." And I'd be like, "All right, cool." You know what I mean? So it was fun, man. It was fun.
You
I
can
learned a
have
lot doing it.
wow. I mean,
Yeah,
the rejected. That sounds like a really punk rock name.
yeah. It was fun. It was fun.
I always felt like you were kind of like, I mean, I to me you look like someone that used to also listen to a lot of the like 90s rap like Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, you know.
I look like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I always got that vibe from you that you were kind of gangster and like low key.
Yeah, no.
I, you know what? What's
Well,
funny is as bubbly as I am, I used to love that stuff. Like I'm a thug in my car.
hey,
I'm
you're that one throwing gang signs while you're driving, right? Like singing along.
the sad part is they don't even know I'm having a seizure.
All right.
No, but you know, it's crazy because I think that in order to play Tejano, you have to have a certain knowledge of all genres, right? And
Yes.
it all gets incorporated into the sound of what Tejano is. One thing I found out later on was that there were some amazing ways that your dad took some like salsa music from Puerto Rico or places like that, and he made it Tejano, and it was like, whew.
Yeah.
It was being played
Yes.
everywhere. Still is.
Yeah. You
And
know, the weird thing to that, Sammy, is that I would. Well, I spent a lot of time with my father on the road and in the studio. And in the studio, I would sit there and I would try to study this man. I mean, like literally just sit there and watch him. Like, okay. And he would just sing melodies and different melodies. And after a while, I was like, that makes no sense. Like, there's no way this is. And sure enough, when the engineer would put all the parts together, it was like, what do you mean this sounds like this? You know what I mean? It was amazing, man. It was amazing.
so one
Uh,
thing I've always wondered is, and you know, just from a songwriting and musician standpoint, I always wanted to know, you know, Jay Perez had Jerry De La Rosa. Who was your dad's Jerry De La Rosa back in the day? Who was the one that was helping him put these tunes together?
when he went solo or when he was with Maz.
Both.
So back then, when he was with Maz, Brando Mireles was his right hand man,
I know
and then
Brando.
believe it or not, Jerry De La Rosa did some of his albums as well.
I knew it.
You know what I
I
mean?
knew it.
So if you listen to like the Solo Para Ti album that has Quisiera on it, has Vuelve Conmigo, has that was Jerry De La Rosa on there.
Wow. I
And
mean,
then when he went solo, the first 4 years I want to say it was Johnny Rod from Corpus Christi. He
wow.
did a lot of the keyboards, and then Chris Perales, who's the keyboard player for the Iconics now, did
Right?
about he did about 15 years with us in the studio. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so many people that just had a hand in this sound. What one thing I noticed though is that no matter how many hands touched it, you guys were dedicated to your own sound. And I think that that's something that can be appreciated. Now, was that kind of because your dad was, you know, like he would speak up to these people and be like, "Hey, I like it, but this isn't my sound. This is the way I want you to play it." Things like that, or they just kind of like know automatically based off of past things?
Um, and you are you asking about the studio or live?
Studio and live, because I mean, on one hand, right? You and I'm a band leader. I have to know things like that, right?
Right.
That's kind of a very, very important thing is, you know, I'm a band leader, but I do have an MD. And of course, he tells us which way to go in certain things. But,
Right.
you know, I feel like there are things that I need to learn that you can only learn from someone that's, you know, like yourself or your dad, that, you know, though you're not the MD, you guys are still leading it. what are some key points that a band leader should know in regards to guiding
You
the
know,
what they want
uh,
in the
um, simplicity is the hardest thing for a musician to play, right? That's the
wow.
hardest thing for a musician to play. But when you learn to do it, it it sounds a lot better than playing all the mumbo jumbo in a song. You know what I
Right,
mean? So that was one of the things that when we picked musicians to play with us live, they were Moss fans. They were, you know what I mean? They had their local bands that did a lot of Moss music, so they know how it went. You know, they knew the chemistry behind it and what it should sound like. And so when they would come here and they'd be there like, that's Jimmy G right there that I'm playing with now. You know, it became well, this is how it goes. You know what I mean? There isn't a lot of pasadas and there isn't about, it's just, again, simplicity. You just got to sit there and play the part, you know,
that's
whatever
true.
and he would tell us, my father, like, look, I didn't spend all this time in the studio creating this music so that you all can come live and crap on it. So
Right,
don't forget that you're not playing for yourself or your musician friends, or you're playing for the people out there. If they don't get up and they're not dancing, it's not right, because
right.
people pay money to go and they want to dance. You know what I mean? That's
Like
that's that's
that scene from the Selena movie, huh?
yeah, you
Everybody
know what I
wants
mean?
to
So
dance.
and that was one thing that he taught me as well, was when you're playing, and he was talking to me directly, when you're playing, you got to look at the people dancing and pick a couple. Just pick one couple, and do they look comfortable dancing to you? Are the turns, is everything right on to them? You know what I mean? Because if you see them stumbling and they're kind of like falling off, and you're playing too fast or you're playing too slow, or you have to put yourself in their shoes and make sure that it's comfortable for them. Once one's comfortable, they're all comfortable. So, you know, those are things that I learned from my father.
Wow. So then I have to ask some drummer questions because, inquiring minds want to know
Yeah, for sure.
what's your go-to drumsticks? What
Go
brand?
to drumsticks. I've been using Vic First sticks for, I signed on with them in 2003. So I've been endorsed by Vic First since 2003 till this present day. So
Wow. What made
yeah.
you make that decision? I know that there's quite a few brands that are popular, but what makes that drumstick different in regards to the sound that it or the sound that comes off of it
You
or
know,
the
I've
comfortability?
at the beginning I would try all kinds of drumsticks, and some would split in half and practically a brand new stick, and I'd be like, dude, these aren't cheap, man. You know what I mean? Like, so I reached out to them, and they're like, just make me a bio and send it in. And sure enough, I sent it in, and right away it came back. So they're like, here, this and this. After about, man, I want to say maybe about 10 years, maybe 12 years, they made my signature drumstick as well. So, you know, I'm very happy with this company. It's anytime that I need anything, right away they ship it out. So, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it, kind of thing.
Okay, okay, I dig it. Do you
Yeah,
have a drum tech that sets up your kit for you,
I
or do
do.
you go and personally do it? Because I know that can be kind of a touchy subject for drummers, like, you don't want no one touching it unless they know exactly what you want. And if
Yeah.
so, how long did it take you to show that drum tech, "Hey, this is how I like it."
Yeah. No, I do have somebody. He's believe it or not, he's been part of this family. So he used to roadie for the original Mas when he was like 14 years old, 15 years old, right? And then he was part of the crew with Jimmy G Grupo Mas. and now he's my tech with the Iconiczz. So he's part of the family, you know. And big shout out to Mr. Raul Lopez. That guy is I can trust him with all of my gear, you know. Uh, I don't want to brag or nothing like that, but that drum kit that I'm using is a one of one custom built, you know. But I know that I can leave it in his hands and he'll take care of it. So he'll come at me and look, Mike, we need this, we need this, we need new skins, we need, and I just order it and he'll go and change out my skins. He does it all, man. I really really appreciate the work he does.
What's your go-to skins?
Snares or stands?
Snare.
Wow, believe it or not, I've tried a lot of snare drums, and not right now. I've got a I'm using a Pearl free floating snare, right? So I had never owned one, but maybe about 5 years ago, a gentleman posted one on Facebook, and it was a beautiful red color, right? And I was like, he wanted like 550 for it, and I was like, I got $400 if you want to sell it. And he was like, nah, it's not for sale. I mean, not for that price, right? And I was like, well, if you change your mind, you let me know. And I remember I took a screenshot of it and I kept looking at it like, God, this is a beautiful drum. Like I almost gave in, like, all right, I'm gonna pay him the 550, you know. But believe it or not, he calls me and he's like, you got it already? And I'm like, I got it right now, I'll send it to you. He was like, send it to me. So I sent him the money, he sent me my drum, and I fell in love with it, right? So right after that, I we were flying to Vegas and I saw another one on Facebook, right? And so the first one, that the red one, is a maple, 14 by 6.5 maple, right? And then I see on Facebook there's a 14 by 7 uh, African. God, I can't remember. Well, whatever it is, right? Not birch. I can't remember. I have it there. So I saw it and I showed it. I showed it to Miss Di Marie, believe it or not, and I was like, "Look at this thing, man! This is a beautiful drum right here, right?" So we went to Vegas. We get back, and she's like, "Go with me to this house. I'm gonna go buy hair products, and I don't want to go alone." So we go and whatever. And the guy comes out and he's like, "You're Mike," and I was like, "Yeah." And he brings out that snare drum, like, "Here you go, man. Enjoy it." And I
Shut
looked at it and I was like, and I looked at her and she was like, "Happy birthday, Mike." And I was like, dude. So I have that on the road as well. You know what I mean? So, and then recently, about a month ago, I saw that's a 14 by 7. I just found a 14 by 5.5 brass free floating as well. And that one, I bought it automatically. Like, I'll take it. So I've got three free floating snares on the road with me, just depending on whatever sound I'm looking for.
You had absolutely no doubt about it whatsoever on the third round.
Yeah, for real. For real. They're beautiful,
Oh,
man.
that's amazing. Shout out to Victoria's Promotions in the house. We also got DJ Alex Villarreal in the house. We got White Knights Limousine and Ballroom. If y'all ever need a ride, y'all call White Knights in Lubbock. They are the bomb. And
Nice.
frankly, they are like my. You know what? I actually think they drove your dad back in the day.
Really?
White Knights, they're the main limousine service here in Lubbock, and they have so many posters, so many photos that are signed. I mean, everything from like George Lopez. I think today they drove a NFL player or former NFL legend, and
Wow.
these people they like have driven anybody and everyone. If you need like someone to be discreet and to really take care of you driving wise, that's who you go to.
Put
Um,
them in an extra long car, right? Don't nothing to see
yeah,
here,
you know what I
folks.
mean? So I see that I see you're in a bus right now. Is that your bus or is that something that that you guys rented? I mean, I'm kind of curious, like, have you had the bus for a while? Like,
Yeah, no, this is ours. You know, it had been a long time coming. You know what I mean? And I joined a management team out of Rosenberg, Texas, and we kind of just started building on all of this. And we tour in a tour bus. It gives us a chance to rest when we're having a drive. You know what I mean? 5, 6, 7 hours after a gig, in
Yeah.
order to make the next town. And so, a lot of people might think it's nothing but partying here, and it's really not. You know what I
It's all
mean?
sleep.
Yeah, we get in, we maybe have a beer or two, you change into your pajamas, jump in your bunk, and go to sleep. You know what I mean? So,
It's all who stole my Doritos.
yeah, yeah, make a sandwich and go to bed already. So, I love it though, man. I love it. I get to rest because we did a lot of time in a van, and sleeping sitting down can get to you after a while. You know what I mean? So, again, I thank God for all of the blessings that we've had.
Wow, wow. I mean, that's always good to finally kind of come into your own and get something that you feel that, well, I mean, let's face it, you've been doing this for a long time. You've been, drumming for a while, and then, when you started your own group, I mean, you yourself as Mike and the Iconics, if I'm correct, y'all got nominated for a Latin Grammy at one point and a Grammy as Mike and the Iconics. Is that correct?
As far as it was up for consideration, it was never nominated as one of the finalists. Um, we haven't won a Grammy. Those are my goals. I think it would be a very emotional moment for me if I was able to get my hands on a Latin or American Grammy and see on the plaque Mike Gonzalez and the Iconics. You know what I mean? So. Um I recently signed with Freddie Records, and
Congratulations,
Freddie asked
finally.
me, Freddie Jr. asked me, like, "What are your goals here, Mike?" Like, and I told him straight up, "I'm shooting for Grammys, Freddie. That's what I want." Like, perfect. Let's get to work. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Well, that's a good omen, being signed with Freddie Records, am I right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
real quick, we're gonna do a couple more shout outs here on the comments. And then so there was a song that you released. I wanna say it might have been in 2022 or 2023. And from what I saw, it garnered like almost 53,000 plus views on YouTube. That was La Única Mujer.
Oh yeah.
And I freaking hear that song everywhere. So I'm going to play that for everybody. I'm going to play a couple of messages from some of the sponsors, and then we will return and talk a little bit more about the future of the Iconics.
That'll work.
All right. So without further ado, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get it kicked off. This is La Única Mujer by Mike and the Iconics. Y'all hit that
Don't
share
mute it.
button.
Don't mute it.
Duermo en esta cama vacía, en cual también tú dormías. Solo queda una huella de ti. Vengo
Huh?
con el corazón herido, de rodillas te pido, por favor, déjame explicar. ¿Qué es que puedo hacer para poderte convencer que para mí eres y siempre serás la única mujer? Vuelve conmigo, es que puedo hacer para poderte convencer que para mí eres y siempre serás, que para mí eres y siempre serás mujer. Vuelve conmigo, ya no aguanto el castigo, solo me obligo a sufrir por no poderte tener. Oh, mujer, vuelve conmigo, ya no aguanto el castigo, solo me obligo a sufrir por no poderte tener. Oh, mujer, vuelve conmigo, ya no aguanto el castigo, solo me obligo a sufrir por no poderte tener.
Looking to plan an event? Look no further than Salazar Promotions and Sound Rental, a full-service event planning company offering DJ services and Code Spark rentals, fun with robots and big heads, hype man services and party bus rentals, LED screen rentals, event decorating services, and your choice of 3 venues. And now offering professional photography, choreography, and sound rental. Need a band for your event? Let us book for you. We have norteño bands such as Eddie Moreno, Los Brillantes de Chihuahua, y La Terminal Norteña, and many more. And now providing you with Tejano and Conjunto bands such as Mi Tequila, Los Pibes, Sammy Torres and the New Image, Conjunto 87, and Rick Molina y Estilo Suave.
Yeah!
Salazar Sound Rental and Promotions, where the party never ends and the deals never stop. Package deals available at 432-209-1797. Welcome back. Woo. Commercial break. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
How about
There we
there?
go. I can hear you now.
You
Okay,
said not to
so
mute it. You muted it.
I know, I know. I had to though because you were talking about mediums.
Oh, that was McGraw. That was McGraw.
Mira, oh, time out. No,
Yeah.
but that's so the one thing I wanted to talk about next was your band. I mean, who all is in the Iconiczz at this moment? Who's been your longest longest standing musicians in the group, your A1s from day ones, and who are your newest members?
Um, so as my vocalist, I have Mr. Isaac Vidauri. He's from Edinburgh. Well, he was born in Abilene, but now he grew up in Edinburgh from the valley. So he's out there. He did an amazing job on this album. Uh, I gotta congratulate him on that. I sit back and listen to these tunes, and I'm like, you know what, this guy, he's getting better. Because you never stop learning, of course, right? So,
It's true.
and then
So true.
on guitar, I've got Mr. Steven Martinez. He is from Bryan. He's from Bryan, Texas. He did some time with us, and then he had to get off the road for about 2 3 years, and then now he's back. So I got him on guitar. He's got a very important part to play. You know what I mean? Being that that's Jimmy G's part, so he's doing a great job as well with that. On accordion, I've got Mr. Homero Esquivel. A lot of people, if y'all don't know Homero, Homer was the original accordion player for Grupo Mas. He did a lot of years with Mr. Bobby Polido. Uh, and then he was with Jimmy Gonzalez y Grupo Mas. He's played with other bands, and now he's here full time. So that guy's a legend himself. He's paved a lot of the road for a lot of accordionists and a lot of musicians just in general. So um, on bass guitar, Mr. Schmedium that you heard, I've got Mr. Jonathan McGraw. He has done a lot of work on the side as well. He recorded one of Jay Perez's album that was the album that got nominated for a Latin Grammy. So,
Right.
what was the name of the album? El Patron. So, Mr. McGraw recorded and produced that album. So, he's here as well, and he's también doing a great job. Does harmonies on stage as well. So, everybody puts their 2 cents here. And then the longest member that I've had here is Mr. Chris Perales.
Of
Chris has
course.
been here, man. I've been with Chris on the road maybe, I don't know, 30 years, I guess.
Wow.
So we've spent a lot of time on the road. Um, he's one of those that when he gets in the zone to arrange music, and like he goes, you know what I mean. He don't want to be bothered. He'll come back at me 2 3 days, like, Mike, I got 6 songs. Listen to this, and I'm like, whoa, man. So I really appreciate Chris for all the work he does live, and in the studio as well. So it's a great team of guys that I have on the road. I wouldn't trade them for anything. This is an A-list band to me. So
See, and I think that that's something that's very important. Um, the crazy thing is that that band that I played that first gig with, still have three of the members that I started with 2 years
wow,
ago, and they are, I think that that's important. One of the guys that's in my band, my MD, Chris Calderon, he's been in the industry since he was 13, and this is his first stint as an MD. But he got to watch Derek De La Rosa when he was playing with Jay Perez in the band back in the day, and so I'm like, what better person to learn from, and what better person to have in the
for
band to
real,
guide
for
everybody.
real.
And
Yeah.
he does a great job. I mean, if any of the guys are like, "Hey, bro, I'm struggling with this part," he can jump on the kit, on the bass, on the guitar, on the keys, anywhere. And sometimes he even takes the lead vocals, and I'm like, "Hey, no,
Hey, take it easy.
take it
Stay
easy."
in your lane, right?
No, no, but he's probably the reason that I've grown a lot as a vocalist, because when I started, I mean, I really didn't have a lot of confidence. And I mean, I think you probably got to get a little bit of that firsthand experience of how my confidence was. Because I sang those 3 songs and I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
To dip
yeah,
out
yeah.
of there. And so, that's it's definitely a nerve-wracking thing to try and a different experience because I've only been doing this for 2 years, and to be around so many people that are veterans in this industry and soak in everything that I'm learning from everybody. It's like crazy. Which real quick shout out to DJ Ray, New Beer Depot in San Antonio is in the house. We got tu amigo Pete, or aka our amigo Pete.
Yeah.
Javier, a big supporter of ours. Norma, we love you. um Okay, so you got your band together. Where is the future going for Mike and the Iconics? I mean, you mentioned this new album. Do we have a name for the new album, a release date? I mean, inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, the name of the album will be The Legacy Continues. So, yeah, that's the name of the album. Um, I've got the album's done. All the parts are done. We're mixing already. We're mastering already. Um, as far as the release date, I really can't put one on there because it's not a thing that I want to say, okay, next Friday it'll be out. Because now that puts us on hurry up and mix it, and because I already told these people the date, and I don't want to do that. The
You
mixing
don't
has
want
to
to
be
rush it.
right, everything has to be right, and then okay, here it is. Now it's released. So there's stuff like that. Working at Freddie Records is amazing. It's very comfortable. I want to give a huge shout out to the engineer, Mr. Mariano Herrera. That guy's like my brother. He did all of Jimmy G's albums.
Yeah,
So now we're working together. Um, a big shout out to Freddie Jr. and all the Martinez family. A beautiful, beautiful group of guys that work there. Very supportive. That's one thing in a band that I know that a lot of people like to joke around and cut each other down and talk crap, and you know what I mean. And one thing that I tell my guys here is I don't want to hear none of that. If you're not gonna be positive about things and try to better each other, stay quiet, or this isn't the band that you belong in.
yeah,
Go find another. So that's one of the things that I do preach a lot here. Like I don't want to hear cutting people down. I don't want to hear none of that. Um, Another a great thing that's happening for the Iconics is that June the 13th we finally make our way back to Monterrey, Nuevo León,
oh
which
wow.
I am very excited about because the last time I was in Monterrey was in 2003 with my father.
Oh,
So I haven't been back there in, I mean, a lot of years. So we've been working with some promoters out in Monterrey, and we will be going back June the 13th, and then I believe June the 26th we're going to San Luis Potosi also. So, now we're starting to venture off into the international part, into Mexico and into, so I'm very excited about that. My guys are also, so there's been a lot of beautiful blessings happening for the Iconics.
wow. And you know what? That's all just a reflection of the hard work that you guys have been putting in, all the years and the dedication to the industry, to doing it. Because let's face it, the Hound music isn't easy. It
Right.
is not an easy genre to be in. It's like you said, there are a lot of people that want to put each other down. And I
Yes.
think that it's nice to have, those few people in the industry that want to raise other people up, that want to help each other.
Of
Um,
course.
as per not wanting to rush it, I'm like the queen of not rushing because I've had one single out for a year.
Hey, there you go.
and and so we're finally getting ready to release our next single in March. And so shout out to Aaron Holler, Miguel Hernandez, Javier Villarreal, for being a part of that, along with
Nice.
my MD Chris Calderon. He's the reason for the season.
Hey,
he
there you go.
he's put in a lot of work into that. And then of course, I've been able to cross paths with quite a few phenomenal drummers. One being Mr. Danny Rodriguez. He helped my band out for a while. Danny Boy, the drummer from Hometown Boys, and
Yes.
with Fiebre for some time. He was he stepped in and helped my group out for quite a few months, and that was in itself like.
Yeah. No. No. No.
But I think it's important to have musicians like yourself and people that are willing to actually talk about what it takes to do well in this industry. And I think that what one thing you said, which is that keeping it positive, staying away from negativity, not talking down on each other. Um, that's a big, big factor in rising or raising each other up. Real quick, there's a new group that they just their leader just won at the Tejano Mundial Awards. Grupo Zodiacal, Salome Lopez, great kids. They're doing well for themselves. They're out there touring with Grupo Asalto, so shout out to them. They're on.
Nice.
Said hello.
Yeah. Nice. Congratulations.
And I mean, it's just great to see that you guys are still going. You're still doing your thing. Shout out to Alize Nino in the house, one of my music sisters. We got Yvette Cruz. She absolutely loves the new single. Yvette, I blame you for why I got recorded that night. Um,
Yeah. There you go.
At least I got my good angle, it's the good side.
Yeah.
But she said,
There.
"I'll wait for more." We got Roxanne Ruiz, her daughter La Bibi, aka Bianca Ruiz, is out there putting in work as well. But we're getting closer to the end of the show, Mike, and I want to know before we play this next song, right? Siempre te cuidaré. That one right there. I kind of want to know a little bit of, the workings, where like who wrote that song, who engineered it, who produced it. Tell me a little bit about the new single.
So this single again, and I go back to what I just said about uh, helping the I'm sorry, I got lost in that. Okay, so what I was saying about staying positive and building each other here in the band live is the same thing that happened with Freddie Records. I signed with Freddie, and believe it or not, the following day I get a call from Mr. Jesse Turner from Signal,
Right.
and he's like, "Mike, congratulations for signing. Anything you need, I'll help you out." And I was like, "All right, cool." So we hang up and he calls me back. I wrote this song, check this out. And he's got an acoustic guitar. We're FaceTiming, right? And he's playing it. And I was like, I like it, Turner. I'll record it. So Jesse Turner wrote this song. Uh, I send that to Chris. Chris does the arrangements. And then it just so happens that when we were recording at the studio this song, Mr. Lucky Joe walks in. And I was like, look, how much do you charge me to record the accordion part? And he was like, I'm not going to charge you anything. He picked up the accordion, walked in the studio room, and he recorded the accordion on that song. So, we all go back to helping one another out. You know what I mean? It's not about this is my session. Don't come in. You can't hear what I'm doing. It doesn't work like that. So again, this is our latest single under Freddie Records, written by Mr. Jesse Turner and arranged and produced by the Iconiczz. Siempre te cuidaré.
Yes, all right. And one more thing, Mike, before we take off, I just want to thank you for being on the show. I know you got a show tonight, so you got to wrap up pretty quickly. But real quick, before we finish the show, I like to take a moment to just let people know that you guys can go out and see Mike and the Iconics during Fanfare Weekend. I know you'll all be out there for the Forever Jimmy G Music Festival that I won't get to go to because that's a minute day, but whatever. But that's going to be at Market Square. Like Mike said, it's nothing but heavy hitters. We got Los Musicales, Delta Boys, Tropa F, Jay Perez, La Dez. We got, of course, Mike and the Iconics are going to be out there.
Yes.
If you guys want to jam out to some of Jimmy's hits and see some great bands, y'all be sure to head out that way and be a part of
Yes.
that. And don't miss the Jimmy G Museum so you can smell the Grammy, maybe get the essence,
Hey,
and know
yes,
what the Hano music is.
for sure, for
Um,
sure.
and then, of course, Mike, I'm going to give you the floor for just a moment so you can send some shout outs to your people or thank
Yes.
whoever you want to thank. And then we will be playing that new single. So you'll announce that, and then that'll be your time here. For those who want to stick around, I do have a couple of messages at the end of the show, and you're welcome to do that. But y'all be sure to hit that share button when we put the song on because sharing is caring. And if you don't
Hey,
share
there you
it,
go.
you're mean.
Yeah.
All right. There you
Yeah. So first and foremost, I want to thank all of my guys, all of the Iconics for doing an amazing job. Um, I want to thank my management team, Zaz Entertainment, Mr. Frank Delgado, who's become family. Miss Marlene, she can be a headache sometimes, but you know she does an amazing job. I want to thank everybody at Freddie Records, Freddie Jr., all the Martinez family. Again, guys, don't forget March the 14th, the Forever Jimmy G Music Festival will be in downtown San Antonio at Milam Park. Um, Doors open at 11. Music starts at noon and it ends at 11 o'clock. But with those bands, you're listening to all nothing but hits all day. So that's March the 14th. We will have new merchandise. We got some of these going on. Oh, there you go. Um, we've got brand new women's t-shirts. We've got all kinds of stuff that we'll have there at the festival. If you need any information, there's a number on that flyer. You can call that number for tickets. I believe pre-sale tickets are only going to go for one more week, and then that's it. So if you're wanting tickets, call that number now. Um, if you need information on the band for booking or whatever it is that you need, call 956-204-5762. Again, 956-204-5762. So once again, Sammy, thank you so much. Congratulations on your show. Um, if you ever need anything from me, again, you got my number. If you have a guest cancel on you for whatever reason, you call me. I'll be your guest again. Again, congratulations. God bless you. We will see you all soon. And take care of one another, man. I love y'all.
Yes, and this is Siempre Te Cuidaré by Mike and the Iconics. Vámonos.
Siempre te cuidaré, siempre te voy a querer. Tú ya traes mi corazón enamorado y yo sueño con tenerte aquí a mi lado. Si te digo que me muero por besarte, no sé cómo, pero voy a conquistarte. Más te vas a enamorar, más con lo que yo te voy a amar y más por ti. Siempre te cuidaré, siempre te voy a querer, siempre demostrar que mi amor es de verdad. Siempre te cuidaré.
Siempre te voy a querer.
Siempre te cuidaré.
Siempre te voy a querer.
Siempre te cuidaré. Siempre te voy a querer. Siempre te cuidaré. Dame una oportunidad. Yo te voy a demostrar que mi amor es de verdad.
All right, mi gente. So, real quick, again, y'all be sure to go and look for this flyer here. There is a phone number attached to it. I can't really see it right this second, but be sure to go and just type in Jimmy G Music Festival, and you will find the number that you need to get what you need for that. Again, we want to thank Mike and the Iconics for being a part of the show. Yes, we appreciate your time. I know you got your show to get to, and thank you so
You're
much for
like, oh
being here.
God, he's still there.
No, guys, next week we have let's see, Joanna Ray will be on with us on March 5th. So y'all be on the lookout. And guys, keep up with the Capturada show. We got, veterans
I
like,
mean, check this out. I don't mean to interrupt you, but check this out.
see, if I don't get one, I'm gonna feel
My
disappointed.
my vocal. Look, he's right here. Say hi to the guys.
Hey, there's Isaac. Guys, real
Buddy,
quick,
how you
y'all say
doing?
hi to Isaac. Hold on, wait, I got something for you, Isaac. Hold on, wait, let's wait for it.
Look at those pants right there. Look at that.
Guys, if you're in the Houston area, where are you guys at tonight, Mike? At the
We're
rodeo?
we're in Houston at the barbecue cook off for the Houston rodeo. So
Guys, y'all get out to that cook off. Um, the Houston Rodeo, it's always a fun time. If y'all see a
yes,
bunch of soldiers, that's what they did to us last time. They took all of us soldiers there in uniform. They were like, we're
nice.
going to take you, but you have to wear your uniform. Whatever. It's not fair, but I guess. But
Good deal.
guys,
Good deal. But you know what?
y'all get
Next Friday we'll be in Midland for all the West Texas people. We'll be in Midland next
really.
Friday, and then
Can
we'll
I
be in
say,
Abilene on
I didn't know
Saturday.
Isaac was from West Texas.
What?
Who is it? Isaac that you said is from West Texas? Who's
He
from
wa- he
Abilene?
he was born in Abilene.
You're kidding.
Nope.
See, I even when I don't know, I know.
Yeah.
No, but
So yeah, we'll be in Midland and in Abilene next weekend.
wow. Okay, so guys, y'all be sure to keep up with Mike G and the Iconics. Go like their page. Go follow them on all platforms. You'll be able to find more information on them. Keep up with the Capturada show because any cancellations, you already heard it here. You're gonna get replaced by Mike. Um,
That's that fast. Is that fast?
like that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Mike, good luck on your show tonight. Thank you for your time, and God bless everybody. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sammy. God bless you.